Good artists copy and a great artist steals. Pablo Picasso, probably. So I stole from Tokipona. But how do you steal something without ever having encountered it before? I just recently came to know about this language, but there are so many similarities. Like, we share a letter. I mean, it's not really a letter. A word in that language, which is the apple, is actually a letter in my language. To give you some more clarity on the situation, today we're going to discuss a few things, and they are tokipona and its roots, kawfu and its origins, and why these two actually share the similarities they do, why I will consciously start to steal from tokipona from now on, and a few other things on the side. Let's deep dive right now. Here's something very weird about tokipona. It doesn't have any punctuators, which means that the sentence "I'm eating, grandma" directly translates to "I'm eating, grandma." If you ask me, that sentence is leaving a lot up for context. Here are the basics of this crazy language. Tokipona has 14 sounds or 14 phonemes, depending on what you want to call them, and these 14 sounds give birth to the entire dictionary of the language. The dictionary has only 120 words, which is not a lot, but it's doable. And the idea is, instead of having a word for everything, you describe everything with words that you have. For example, who needs a word for tea when you can say hot liquid that is the color of tree bark? And those were the basics of tokipona. In tokipona, you use words which are glyphs to describe other words. But in kawfu, the glyphs are literally the letters, and the letters combine together to form words which are massive chunks of meaning. It's basically like Minecraft. You use the block and you build a house. To be fair though, kawfu is more inspired by Mandarin than it is by tokipona. Maybe tokipona was inspired by Mandarin, that's why we share the similarity. But that's for the next part. Right now, for starters, kawfu's got 72 letters only, and each letter represents a thing and an idea. Now I'm gonna tell you something really interesting about kawfu. In kawfu, there are different states for the letters. For example, take a look at this fire glyph. The fire glyph essentially has different faces, and the face of the fire we're in can depict the face of the action we're in. Just like this fire glyph, there are plenty more things in kawfu that are very interesting. But right now, we have a more pressing question to deal with, which is, in my personal opinion, I think that this is a "oh no, everything's becoming a crab now" kind of situation. All crustaceans have one strategy to survive: have hard shell, have strong pincer, attract female, make baby. This is their entire strategy. If any other species has a similar survival strategy, chances are it's going to become a crab. Even though kawfu and tokipona don't essentially have a survival strategy per se, they do have a shared purpose, which is essentially to be very descriptive and very simple at the same time. Out of this shared purpose, they evolve into similar entities. Now keep in mind, similar doesn't always have to mean identical. If you start digging deeper, you will start to see the dissimilarities. Here's a sentence: subscribe and hit the bell icon if you enjoyed this video, written out in tokipona. From this sentence, you might be able to observe the language's serene simplicity. This is why I want to take inspiration from this language, because I'm going for something that is simple as well. Simple at its core, extensible to suit complex concepts. I've actually taken inspiration from tokipona already, and one of the places I've actually used it is in this context. When you're describing a person's name in tokipona, since the language is made up of so many glyphs, you don't really know when a name pops up. To identify that, instead of saying, my name is so and so every time you speak, you just put the human glyph behind the name that you speak of. This seemed to be the easiest solution to my problem, so I stole it from tokipona. Here's something really interesting about kawfu. Kawfu is not meant to be a standalone conlang. It's part of a much bigger world building project, which if you want to see, you can put in the comment section or something. Do stuff to jog the algorithm, blah blah blah. And yeah, that was it. Thank you for watching. My name is Monish, channel's name is Monstar. Goodbye, brother. I'll meet you with another. Professed.